So Jada Pinkett-Smith reveals she and Will Smith, her estranged husband, have been separated since 2016. Let me tell you something. I personally don't give a damn, to be quite honest with you. But at the same token, let me just say this. Jada Pinkett Smith is a person that you're watching on full display who is doing everything that she can. She's manipulative. She's deceptive. She is a deceiver. She's a liar. She tries to be persuasive, and she is emasculating Will Smith. Now, before any other women say anything or men say anything that's listening to the Royal Figures podcast, available on Apple and Spotify and all other podcast platforms, make sure you go to subscribe, is that Jada Pinkett Smith, there's nothing that she can say that allows me to believe her. There's nothing that she can say that allows me to believe her at this point. She has used her platforms to ridicule Will Smith. She's used her platform to literally try to break him down as a man. And Will Smith has done everything in his power to try not to respond. I can only imagine what the dude is going through. But at the same token, is that you can allow yourself to continue to be connected with an individual who clearly does not want to be connected with you. Clearly, the things that she's saying at this point and how she broke it down in this interview on the Today Show, it was sickening. Now, this could be a publicity stunt to also further get book reviews, book purchases for her new book, Worthy. A woman like Jada Pinkett Smith is not worthy to have. Not when you're constantly talking about your estranged husband in a negative way and so demeaning and so emasculating. She went on to say in the interview that it was not a divorce on paper. So by her saying, she insinuated it wasn't a divorce on paper, but it was a divorce in our actual relationship. And I understand this is your relationship, but when you make it public, you're putting it out there for people to respond. Quite frankly, she should shut up and keep her business to herself, but she loves the spotlight. She loves trying to control the narrative. She's a controlling, narcissistic type of individual. She went on to say that it was not a divorce on paper, but we've been separated and living separate lives since 2016. She talked about her relationship was fractured. I bet you it was fractured with all the stuff that you've been saying, even to the point you brought this man on Red Table Talk on your platform and talk about an entanglement you had with another man in your own house. I don't care if the man is has some mental health issues. You have mental health issues too. And you know the saying is misery loves company. Let me tell you something. When she even said during the Red Table Talk back on the interview and how Will Smith kicked her to the curb, when that point, when she said she had an entanglement with this other guy in their own house, let me tell you something, man. There is nothing good about this person. She's evil. She's demanding. And she does everything that she can to emasculate Will Smith. And let me say this. All this is saying now, people trying to give Will Smith an excuse, the reason why he went up there and slapped the man, Chris Rock, and all this. Man, let me tell you something. Jada wasn't worthy of that. Because guess who he ended up hurting? It hurt more of Will Smith than it did Jada. Listen. Will, if you ever listen to the Royal Figures podcast, listen, man. Cleanse yourself mentally and physically. Cleanse yourself and spiritually. Cleanse yourself from all the toxic things that have been happening in your marriage, in that relationship you have with Jada. You have to cut yourself off from that individual. That individual have shown you time and time again that her respect level that she has for you is not where it should be. And when you have somebody and you're in a relationship and a person does not respect you, they do not serve you well, because all it's going to do is bring stress, anxiety, depression, mental health disorder, whatever kind of other physical disorders, mental disorders. Leave it alone. If it does not bring a balance of positive energy, positive vibe, maturity, positive maturity, feeding you positive mental health synergy, it is not meant for you. And the sooner you know that, and I'm going to tell you something, it is power when you're not responding back. That is power. It doesn't mean that you're weak, Will. It doesn't mean that you're weak as well. When you avoid responding and talking about such a toxic individual, because see, they feed off energy when you're talking about them. They feed off that. They live off that. She loves being in the spotlight. She loves being when the cameras and action is rolling. But when you don't talk about her, it fumes her, it infuriates her. Don't give in. Keep doing what you're doing. Move on with your life. Live life, because there's so much more to life than this toxic individual. Stay tuned to the next episode of the Royal Figures podcast.